welcome to It's Not Just Magic. I am your host, Cassie Clayton, and I am so excited to have with me today Monica Henderson. She is the Genius Activator. So excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here too. This is going to be fun.
Absolutely. So tell everyone a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So, Monica Henderson, and I am the founder and creator of an ecosystem that supports thought leaders, change makers, coaches, and experts every day by having real people offering real help in real time. And we do that through our courses and our conferences and our co-working. And we just have a lot of fun in business because no one, when they were little, said they were going to grow up and be a boring adult. And so we believe in adulting in a fun way.
That's awesome. So share with us a little bit about your past and how, when did you know that it was time to step into your passion as being a business owner?
Oh, and so, okay, so there's the no, and then there's the no, right? So the first, I know, was back when I was 28, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Like, I feel like there's something great inside of me and I'm just going to step into it. I got a tattoo, the whole thing. I was like, come with me, universe, come with me. And it did. Oh, did it. But I started my journey really kind of not in the traditional place where I was like, obviously financially prepared to step into full entrepreneurship, but more so kind of like with faith, $800, a game plan, and a 2-year-old, and was like, we're going to make our life happen. And we were able to manifest that. And I was working in that. But when I had made that promise back when I was 28, that I was going to do this, step fully into who I am, I call it the going from an acorn to an oak tree, right? And I was like, I don't want an acorn life anymore. I want to fully evolve into the oak tree I want it to be. And so when I was like, I'm going to do this and I'm only going to work hard for 10 years. And then when I knew was when Father Time tapped me on my shoulder and was like, hey girl, remember that promise? Yeah, you've done nothing to actually step into the working hard for only 10 years so that you can focus on your soul's purpose. And so in 2019, I decided that I was going to really step into my soul's purpose, for real. And I was going to scale. I was going to create intellectual property that I could leave behind. I was going to plant my flag in the earth and say, Monica was here, right? And really start making a difference. And and then after that, God broke the world so that I could be successful at it. I mean, I'm sorry if the pandemic wasn't great for you, but the world was broken for me, and it gangbusters created this perfect environment for me to incubate and to foster what now is MINKLife motivation. A lot of the members of the community call it the MINKLife universe. And we do it collaboratively, and it was people even Cassie, you were a part of this last phase of it, and every person who comes through it really kind of puts their thumbprint on it and makes it better and molds it a little bit, and we create a bigger impact together. And so the pandemic was kind of that lighter fluid, right? I had a little flame, and then there was nobody has eyebrows now because it's blew up.
That's awesome. No one has eyebrows.
No one has eyebrows. We're that person with the lighter fluid. Gone.
Yeah. No, and I do love the space that you have created. So expand a little bit more on that and tell people a little bit more kind of what they can expect through your program.
Yeah. So, the hardest part about being an entrepreneur or a solopreneur or someone who's trying to do something different than what everybody else is doing is the loneliness that comes with that, right? You're talking to your plants or your animals and they don't really have great great advice, or you're like, should I say this or should I say that? Or what do you think? I was just actually having a conversation with Happy about which lipstick to wear. He did not give me a good answer. But in our MINKLife, I was like, Happy, which lipstick? And he's like, there's no bone here. I don't know what you want from me, right? But in the MINKLife, it's the idea or the concept is that you don't have to be alone. So you can work solitary, individually. And then when you have that musing or that like, I need someone to kind of like help me move past this decision that I'm making here, you can just like unmute yourself, turn your camera on and go, hey, what do you guys think of this? And there's people there to chime in and say, oh, that's a good idea. Or have you considered that? Or that's like, you're freaking brilliant, right? Or even if you just want to say something funny, like I had this funny client the other day, or I don't know how to use this stupid app. Like, how do you make it do this? And there's that support system there. And we do that both live every day, 6 days a week, about 18 hours a day. There's somebody on Zoom to support our community members in that kind of like not having to work alone, but also on we have an online app that goes along with it. And so we have very frequently dropped in, here's my bio. What do y'all think? That actually happened last night. A whole true story that happened last night. Or can anybody look at this? Oh, this morning I dropped in a cover for MINKLife magazine, and was like, "Hey, how does this look?" And someone was like, "You got a spelling mistake, right?" And so you're able to have like that that team that you would normally have if you were in a business. Someone would be in the other cubicle, and you would be like, "Hey, look at this really quick," in our community. And have that full business hug, if you will, like having people there to kind of like embrace you. And then if you need extra help, there are courses that will allow you to kind of figure out where you need to be and like what kind of help you need, so that you can kind of get that help. And our community provides that with other members in the community because they're all experts in their own right in different areas. And we have the conferences where we're able to help promote our amazing community. We do all those together and we do it collaboratively. And so that loneliness that comes with being a solopreneur or a thought leader or by yourself, or just even ahead of your own business, where you just kind of want to not talk to, you don't want to necessarily hash that out with your subordinates or people who you're in charge of, people who are on your same level, your peer group. You want to kind of talk to people like that. And so this is a great space for that.
Yes.
Awesome. And we have so much fun.
We do. We genuinely do. It is work, and then it is life lessons and life. Like we get to level up our life and our business and share in those moments that like because I know that before I found it, it was kind of like, oh, something happened and I wanted to share it with somebody and there wasn't anybody to share it with. So now I get to be like, something happened. Guess what?
And everybody goes, yay! We have office birthday parties by sharing.
We do
sharing different things, and we have like all the fun stuff of your like. So on the landing page for the community, we say it's like the structure of a 9-to-5 with the flexibility of a hustle, right? So it's like all those fun things that you do kind of miss about being in a 9-to-5 or being in a corporate environment. But it's your own business you're working on, and everybody else is working on their own business as well. And like Kathy and I were a part of a pod that like literally put together an event in, was it 30 minutes from start to finish? That helped one of our members monetize it and make some money off of it within the week of the actual event. And that is incredibly gratifying to, one, be able to use your talents in that way. And then also when they're successful, it's kind of like your own success as well. You're like, yes, we are awesome. We did it. We did it. So I don't know. I just think it's like really it's really kind of what I needed. And, I talk to a lot of coaches and a lot of people who are in the expertise space. And we typically go into fields of things that we need or we wish we had, especially on the coaching side. And so I think this was what I needed. Like I needed coworkers. Like I needed people to like, I am a creative speller. I need people to be able to like look at my stuff and say like, Monica, you were a bit too creative with that spelling there, dear. Here's how it's traditionally spelled. And, to be able to bounce my ideas off. And so I think in pulling all of that together, it works really well. And it's not just only fun. I mean, we do have 24 hours of programming in this space. So if you want to actually work on your business, that development is right there, being live stream, like literally 24 hours. You can go in at any time and work on a particular part of your business. And there's a bot there that will walk you through those exercises. So there's just so much leeway in kind of different ways that you can use the space, but you just don't have to do it alone.
Right. And that is the part where it's, you no longer feel alone. I also like the trending sweat coin app that we're all on.
Yes. So there's an office, just like every other office, there's like a side kind of thing happening, which it's about steps. It's about getting your steps in daily. And so we are all on Sweatcoin, and it's a little competitive. I mean, when you have this many alphas in the room, it's going to get a little competitive of who's going to get the steps in, who's going to get the most steps in the week. It's a fun challenge that is unofficial. No one declares challenge, but we're checking on each other. Oh, I see you. You got more steps than me. That's okay. I got to go to the grocery store. I'm walking. Like, oh, wait, I got to, before the day is over, I got to make sure I get a few more steps in so I can beat Cassie, or I can beat Arena, or I can beat Peggy. Yeah, it's a whole
Or the flip side, we can be like, hey, you didn't move from your computer today. Oh, yeah. Go do something.
Yeah, you sat a little too long. I need you to move.
Exactly. But I love that accountability. I love the accountability and the fact that we can create it inside the group. Yeah. And then and it's not just with the sweat coin. It's like everything. With our different projects, with our different things,
lifestyle things.
Yeah, it's like we can check in with one another and make sure, hey, because we're all like powerhouse entrepreneurs, right? So right. So sometimes the remembering to go be human can be difficult. And so I like that we kind of keep each other in check of, hey, you've maybe boss babed a little too hard.
Yeah. What did you my daughter says you girl boss too close to the sun, right? Like, like you slow down.
Yeah.
Bring it in, right? So I would definitely say that accountability is a natural occurrence in our community. And I know there are a lot of like accountability coaches and accountability groups. And I think their structure is very great. This is just an organic, natural accountability. From people who care, like we genuinely care about each other in our community and are always looking for more people to care and love on, right? And so it's like, hey, you want to come and hang out with us? Anytime, we'll be there, right? So definitely should come and hang out in the MINKLife space. And we offer, which is great, we offer a 14-day free trial. So if people are like, this sounds like cult-ish, which has been said to me once, Peggy. And I don't know about this whole being on Zoom all the time thing. But once you kind of experience it and really kind of like add it to your schedule, it does become kind of like a natural occurrence. And it's like you're actually going to the office every day and you're seeing your colleagues every day, and you're able to really co-work with awesome people. And because we're all heart-centered business owners, and because we're all in on the same mission of trying to really help people change their lives and grow their businesses and make a difference in the world, it really does end up being kind of like, oh, wait, this is my tribe. And it is right now, the women are the only ones who have like taken advantage of this. We do have men in our community, but they have not taken advantage of it. So we definitely encourage this to be a co-ed experience. So if you feel like, oh, well, it's just women hanging out. No, we would love more men in our community. We would love more men's voices in that. And we would love to support more men. Don't, just because I'm a woman, don't think that you are not invited. I think sometimes that's the misconception, is that like a woman business owner is only looking to help other women. And the truth is I am looking to change the world, and that requires both sides of the conversation, and both sides to be developed, and both sides to be able to grow and level up equally, so that we can do it together.
Absolutely. So what is the one thing or story that has had the most profound impact on you as a business owner?
Oh, the most profound impact. Ooh, that's a hard question. The most profound impact. I would actually say it was realizing that failure, like that I'm really good at failing. Like, oh, that sounds horrible, right? But I'm amazing at failing. And realizing that was a superpower, to be really good at failing. And I know people are like, you don't want to be a failure. And we were all taught, don't fail, just succeed. But the road to success has a lot of failure in it, a lot of failure in it. And so my godmother, who has passed on now, when she sat me down one day, she's like, girl, you fail a lot. You fail, and it is excruciating to watch you fail, and you just like fling yourself at whatever it is. And while I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my gosh, she is not going to make it out of this. And then you somehow tend to land on your feet in stilettos, and you're way better off than I would have thought you would be. You were way better off than where you were before, and it didn't work, right? But somehow you were able to be successful in failure. And once I owned that and was like, oh, that's good, then I started to kind of like be excited to hurry up and get through the fails, because success on the other side is going to be substantially better. And then I teach people how to fail fabulously, right? Like practice failing, right? Like, okay, I'm going to do this and we're going to find the holes in it, right? And Cassie, I say it all the time. It's like, look, when someone tells you you suck, grab some popcorn and a notepad and be like, okay, why did I suck? And go. Like, get excited, because they're giving codes how to like hurry up and get to success. And so my attitude of like excitement behind failure and bad feedback has made me very successful quickly, because it is the cheat code. So not necessarily a story, but just if I could share like one thing, it's like, be excited for your failures, because there was so much story in that failure that is going to allow you to be way more successful quicker than if you found success right away. Success is great for the ego. It makes you go, oh yeah, look at me, I'm so great, right? But you don't know how you got there, because it was magic. it was, and Peggy and I were having this conversation yesterday. She was getting ready to do some market research, and she was like, well, what do you want? And I was like, don't ask what they want, ask what they hated about the last experience in that thing, because that's going to give you more information than if they tell you what they want. Because what they want is like, I don't know, I just loved this experience. That person was just, I don't know how they did what they did, but it was awesome. But what, on the flip side, if you ask them, what was your worst experience, right? What was your worst experience? Everyone remembers the trauma. Everyone remembers the trauma. And so in remembering the trauma, they can tell you exactly what they didn't like about it. They can tell you exactly how it made them feel. And you can actually reverse engineer how to make it better in that way. And so being excited to get to the problem solving of a pain point is way easier than if you're like, everything's perfect. What can I change? Nothing. There's nothing you can change. I had that feedback recently, and I'm like, dang it. I had nothing. They didn't tell me. I need these cheat codes. Your conferences are awesome. Like, I wouldn't change anything about them. Like, what do you mean you wouldn't change anything about them? Please tell me what I need to, like, how do I need to make it better? How can I improve? I was legitimately upset about the positive feedback because there was nothing for me to learn. There was nothing for me to learn from, like, oh, you were awesome and everything was great and it was perfect. I can't do anything better that way, right? And so again, this attitude of being excited about failure, being excited about negative feedback. Cheat codes to life. Look, I'm out here giving y'all cheat codes. You can take them. You can leave them there if you want to. But ultimately, the faster you get to how someone's not going to be happy about something and fix it, the sooner you will be in getting more of the annoying comments of like, oh, everything's perfect. Don't change anything. I wouldn't change it for the world. Oh, you'd be annoyed at like that. Right? But imagine like if that was your worst day is like, no one gave me negative feedback. I'm so annoyed.
Yeah.
That was your day.
Wow.
No one gave me negative feedback. What am I supposed to do with that? Like, if that's your baseline, as opposed to like, I have all these things to fix, right? So I don't know. I feel rambly, but hopefully there was a nugget in there. Yeah.
Well, I do like the fact that it's like when, you know, and there is kind of that hope in the back of your mind that like when you put time, energy, and effort towards something that you've like ironed out the issues, like there is kind of that hope. But when something doesn't go right, then you can either take it and like cry about it, or you can take that and go, how can I fix this so it doesn't happen again?
Yep. It's like, great. Thank you for the cheat code. Thank you for the shortcut. Now I know exactly what to fix in order to make it better. And truthfully, most business owners do that. It's like, okay, I think I'm doing everything right. And they ask the question, what am I doing wrong? All the time, right? What am I doing wrong? And a customer who's not happy is literally telling you what you're doing wrong. So they're really the answer to your prayer, right? And so being excited for those blessings really kind of helps you get there.
Absolutely. 100%. So what is the advice you would share to those who are wanting to develop their business?
I would say not only obviously get really comfortable with failure, but surround yourself with people who are smarter than you in something else. I, in this community, have the benefit of all of that. We have Colleen, who will help you figure out your words and how to do follow-up and how to be like a better networker. And we have Peggy, who like is brilliant at like a bunch of stuff from, you know, making me look great right now. Yes. And also photoshopping and just a really great business mind after being in business for over 30 years. And you have Irina, who is like a master influencer and humble as hell, who has 51, every time I say the word, I say it, it's the wrong number, but 51,000 people in her Facebook group. And is really showing us what it looks like to be an influencer and really focused on someone's pain point and focusing on that pain point as the driver. And gosh, there's so many other people. You have Andrea, who, you know, hooks us up with great, really great information about how to make our bodies work better. And Marilyn, who's the wise one and helps us kind of remember that we are headed towards being an older person and what we want to be in that older person starts with our journey now and how we're going to get there. Geez, I feel like I'm missing so many people because there's so many people in our community, and, you know, Chris and his, you know, leadership conversations and helping us with that. And Tyson, who's, you know, helping us with our spirituality and talking to our inner 5-year-old so we can tell it to sit down when it's throwing that temper tantrum. There are just so many people in our community, and I love being surrounded by them, because at any point, if I have a problem, I know I can go to someone in the community and talk it through with them and know that it's in a safe place. So I would say surround yourself with people who you can trust, who will give you sound advice from the same value set that you have. That's what I would say. That's the advice I would give.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And I do love the fact that we have so many people who do so many different things, because otherwise, if we didn't have that situation, then like where we were able to put together the event in like 30 minutes between, you know, 3 or 4 of us, it's right. Like that wouldn't happen. And then it would have taken the one person who is needing that event
several days
to
it was
out all the pieces.
At that point. Exactly. It was at that point too. Like, you know, she had been kind of, oh, and I have to do this, and I have to do that, and I have to do this, and I have to do that. And we were like, or we could just help you and get it done right now. And she's like, oh, okay, I will accept your help. And once she accepted our help, then it was like gangbusters. And we all just stepped into our own zone of genius, right? We all stepped into our one space that we like, oh, I know this like the back of my hand. It's going to take me 30 seconds to do this. And did it as a group effort. And it really did kind of change everything. But being willing to take the advice from someone and trusting that if that's their area of expertise, what they're saying to you is not going to steer you wrong, is really helpful. And so there are a lot of people who come in, you know, and ask for advice, but if you don't take it, the advice is only as good as you take it, right? And so the support is only as good as you allow them to do in supporting you. And when you've, in our community, especially when you allow people to fully support you, none of the people in our community show up halfway. Like they don't know how. No. They do not know how to show up halfway. So they're going to like, again, competitively support you. Oh, well, I helped pull all of this side together. Or I helped with all of these words, and I helped with, like it's a competitive.
look what part I did.
Right. And then this is the same way in our conferences too. Like when you come to the conferences, it's the same way. It's like on those panel discussions, they're trying to outgive, right? Like I'm going to give you better tips than the last person on this tip. So like there's just this competitive giving concept that happens in our community. And we're all better for it. We're all better for it. Like even the person's giving is better for it. So, you know, it's kind of a really amazing space. And if it feels like this energy that we have, or this kind of thing is something that you like, you know, I could use a little bit of that, then just come and check us out. Like come and hang out for a little while and see. We may not be your people. We may be a bit quirky for you. And that's okay, because there's a tribe for everyone. And if our tribe isn't it, still continue to look for the one that does fit you, because it is so important to be surrounded by people. We can do literally anything alone. You are completely capable by yourself to do anything and everything you want to do. But we do everything together better. So having people around you to do that is great. And it takes a village to raise a business. So by all means, tap into the village.
Absolutely. And one of the, and we are coming to the end of the show, but one of the things that I also wanted to mention is that because of the way that the MINKLife is actually set up, it's, and just going off of the name, the Genius Activator, all of us are working in our zones of genius, which means that when we do come together to help somebody, we're not having to stop and have that learning curve. we are that genius in that field. And when you put people in their zone of genius, they're able to do so much more in a shorter period of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
that is it. Come and hang out with us.
Absolutely. So tell people how they can get a hold of you.
Absolutely. So you can go to, if you want to just have a one-to-one with me, absolutely go to monicamhenderson.com, just like my name. And you can get on my calendar. We can have a chat. If you're interested in learning more about our community, you can go to MINKLife.university.com. And that is where you'll be able to find more about our courses. You'll be able to see our calendar of events that are coming up. You'll be able to learn a little bit more about our community membership and kind of all the things that come along with it. We are so happy to invite anyone who has the same value set. If this is not your style, it is completely okay. If you are curious a little, then go ahead and check us out on MINKLifeUniversity.com.
Awesome. And for anyone who is wanting to get in touch with me, my name is Cassie Clayton, Stargazers Unite, creating brands, logos, and websites that radiate your soul to the world.
Magic.
Well, thank you, Monica, for coming on and joining me. This was an awesome show. I appreciate you. And we will see you all later.
Bye.